is this? Everything's good. Alright. Okay. And so we got a lot. Alright, anyway. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Not sure where to kind of start from this. Not sure where to kind of start with this. It's just after listening to pretty much everybody, after practically listening to kind of a lot of the different testimonies and listen to just trying to let everything kind of bottle in everything, just kind of let it out and just kind of let everything kind of speak up and such like that. I realized that like so many people said their piece on him, and I figured I would at least say my piece and my thoughts and such from someone who only spoke to him a few times. I've only had him. I had him once on a show before, I think once or twice, but yet it hit. It really did hit. I know the link to I know people who's gonna see this, they're gonna put the link to his GoFundMe in the chat, so I appreciate that. And I'm probably gonna keep this short, not go too long. I just want to just air my feelings about this and such like that. So, I'm not sure where to start, honestly. When I didn't hear about this from we heard about he was being in the hospital and everything from from Loki's show yesterday, and we all were pulling for him and such like that. And I got the message on a comment on my community tab from Power, who let me know that the Lord called him home. And I will admit that definitely that hit me. I think it hit me as much as many others, because I always peek in. The thing is with him is that I always peek into his streams when I get a chance to. I just pop in, say hi, and then take off. Pop in, say hi, or leave a super chat and take off, because it was worth it. It was worth just listening to him. It was worth just having that, that living. He was the living titan amongst us. He was a true titan, a true atlas. Holding the world on his shoulders and such like that. He was a true Ben Grimm in every single best way possible. I think about just I didn't get a chance to get I think it's just such a major testament to who he is, to who he was, and a major testament to his character was how welcoming he was to you. He would take the clothes off his back no matter what, for you, no matter what. It didn't matter if you're big, it didn't matter if you're small, it didn't matter to him. In a way, he was much. In a way, he was truly genuine. he was truly, truly genuine. And I couldn't listen to the entire stream, and I'll be honest with you. I couldn't listen to the entire stream yesterday because I knew that I was gonna start balling up a lot, and I was at work, and I didn't want to. I was gonna start balling up a lot. If the more I listened and the more I was hearing, because sitting there, listening and getting some work done and again doing my jobs and such like that, and hearing just hearing the pain in Tom's Tom Midnight's Edge, hearing the pain in him, just hearing that. Just hearing that from so many other people, especially his son as well, especially Clobby's son, hearing that from so many people, everybody's trying to hold back, so many people are trying to hold back. Mike was trying to hold back, and all these trying people hold back. I guess for me, I couldn't listen to the entire stream. I couldn't listen to the entire thing. It was just too much, and I was gonna start balling up too. But hearing just all of that just reminded just us so much of how much one person can impact so many people, even if they never even spoke with him, they somehow impacted them in a way. I'm in that space where I'm like, I can't say, I would love to say more, but I didn't know him the way that you guys did. I didn't know him as much as you guys did, and yet that hit me. Yet that hit me too. That hit me personally. That's the kind of the thing, and I think that it's such a true testament to his character and what he leaves behind, because what you leave behind is more than just a legacy. It's an impact, not of just who's here now, but for future generations to come. I think of this. I remember this. I think of this quote from Ninth Wonder. It was one of his songs. I think it was called "Make It Big," and it was a recording when he said that the people you impact, they will decide if you're a legend or not. You don't really decide that. You can't decide that you can't decide that you're a legend. Your legend, you becoming a legend is decided by the people you've impacted with your time here in this life. The people, they decide if you're a legend or not. And with that being said, Clobby, I think he was more than just a legend, though. I think with how so many people he impacted in his time, not just his time on YouTube, but just in his life, I think he's risen so far up from being just a gentle, passionate guy about comics. He rose up to be a legend. He rose up to be a titan. A titan that no one will be able to, a titan that no one will be able to rise and to be able to match up to. And you wonder And I just wonder, it's like, why am I saying this about somebody that I didn't get a chance to, I didn't really get to speak to that much? Well, that's the thing about YouTube, you know? And it's the thing that, we lost two people this week, back to back. Because we lost Benny, a comic historian, in my opinion, a very important figure in the comic space on YouTube. Someone who accomplished his mission of introducing newer generations to how wonderful comics are and how wonderful comics can be and how wonderful comics will be. Clobby to me did just that and more. I'm not trying to downplay Benny's importance, significance. It's just on a personal level, I got to know Clobby more than I did with Benny, and I felt like that personal touch was Clobby's, impact on so many of us, and on me, on me personally a little bit, So hearing that he didn't make it yesterday, that I did tear up a little bit. I did. Yeah, that was rough. I called Loki. I saw the memorial stream happening, and I immediately called Loki. I told him, I'm so sorry to hear this. That I'm here for him. That I know how much he meant to you, how much he meant to so many people in this little corner of YouTube, in our little corner of YouTube. I know how much he meant to everyone there. And I immediately called up, and I immediately I went to Discord, but I immediately sent a message to Mama Bear and Bruce to let them know that he's gone. And it feels so different without him. It's this space on YouTube is going to feel so much different without him. Because wanting to peek in every single night. I always see that, Clobby's on, the show's on, I'll pop in, just say hi, and I'll pop in and say hi to him and everybody in the chat, and just leave a like and just leave a super chat, just to show that, I'm working and lurking, and I'm watching and listening and stuff like that. It's just, that feeling. It's like, we're not going to get that anymore now. I don't, maybe, I know that Mark D and Raquel, they're going to do everything they can to keep his memory and keep his memory, keep everything he built going forward. It's just that deep down inner feeling that I have. It's just like, it's not going to be the same. I hear his voice. I hear his voice all the time when I was listening. I hear his voice and such like that, and the true testament to how much of a character he was that it was more than just him, willing to take the clothes off his back to keep you warm, to keep other people warm. Was the fact that he would stop every single time. It doesn't matter how big, it doesn't matter how big your channel is, how small you are. It doesn't matter if you're a freaking nobody. The moment you would comment, the moment you would say hi in the chat, Clobby would stop everything he does. He would stop right there just to acknowledge you. Not just acknowledge you, but shout you out. And he did that to everyone. He did that to every single person who commented, to every single person who was watching. You know, that's a true testament to who he is, and that's a true testament to what he's leaving behind. You know, he's you could say that, you know, he was part of this kind of this in our space, in our space, in this community, in this our little quarter of YouTube. He was part of the old guard. You know, he was part of that he was part of the older guard. You know, part of that. I want to say that elder statesman status that he claimed he that we all kind of gave him. He was part of that older elder statesman. You know, I didn't see him as like a. And he was on every channel. It didn't matter who it was. He would show up on every single channel. Not just Tom Midnight's Edge, not just, you know, Midnight's Edge After Dark and such like that. Not just, you know, Comic Book Roundtable on Loki's channel, but everywhere. You know, even on Dadman's channel, even on all so many people, and I would see him pop up because he just enjoyed just the company of the people he was around with. And he was willing to just go out there and do that, and just wanting to just chat, talk comics, talk pop culture. You know, I was planning after my show. After that, a couple years ago, we had a show. I had a show. It was just myself, and the show was, I think it was Mama Bear and Bruce were out sick, so it was just myself and 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, and we talked for that Sunday show. We talked for Jesus. We went for almost about 3 hours, I think. We almost went for 3 hours, and we just talked. And I was drawing the Thor piece for him. And we just talked straight comics, man. I wasn't well versed into the comic space as much as, you know, Nick was, or even Klobby was. But at the end of that show, we decided, myself, Nick, and even Bruce, all decided that we need to do another show with Nick and Klobby. We need to have Nick and Klobby on this one, on this next show. And, you know, we're never going to get that chance. I'm never going to get that chance to do that. And I even mentioned to Klobby once that I want him back on Machiny Live because we need to do a straight comic talk. I may not be as well versed, but to have someone like him be able to kind of explain, be able to kind of introduce me to kind of what was that era, that so important to that era, and I am so very important to it. I know how important that era is to so many people, and I wanted to just learn from him. I wanted to just experience that from him too. You know, it's just that the sadness that we're not going to get that now. I'm never going to be able to get that. We're never going to be able to have that stream. You know, I won't be able to, you know, see, you know, his show pop up and just realize, you know, he's not there. So why does it? For someone who I only spoke like once or twice with him. I actually had him on stream before. I think it was during I can't remember, it might have been before that, but I remember when we did this She-Hulk discussion of the upcoming She-Hulk show, and I'm certain that, you know, I had him, I had Purple Valkyrie, I had Fat Steven, I had Nick Weiser, I had so many, I think I had Loki on, I had so many people because we wanted to do a little kind of what our thoughts of the upcoming She-Hulk Disney Plus show was coming, and I think I remember even I think I remember it was having him on that, or it might have been earlier than that. But it was such a blessing to such a blessing to just have him on screen, to be able to speak to him live, because it's such a he has such a gentle, passionate soul, and yet, and he was so knowledgeable on his craft. He loved this craft, you know. You know, he's, that part of the, comic book roundtable is not going to feel the same without him. The, the Friday night show, the Comic Talk on Nick Wise's channel is not going to feel the same without him. And the thing is that why does it, at the top of that is just, why does it affect me so much personally? It affected me personally because he was, he would shout me out every single time I showed up in his chat. Every single time. I can't recall a single time where he didn't. And just that heart, it would just make me, personally so happy to see that even Raquel would have to tell Klavi to stop. Klavi to stop, that Makani is in the chat. Raquel would have to tell Klavi that Makani's in the chat to shout him out real quick. And he would plug my channel every single time. Having that, hearing, not just from him, but also Mark D as well. Just the fact that he made you feel so welcome, the fact that he made you feel so special, even as just as a watcher, as a lurker, that's what I got. Just sorry. I know that my smoke alarm is just like beeping right now. Sorry about that. That's a testament to his character. That's a titan in my eyes. That's a titan in my eyes. I think about all of that. Think about how passionate he was about Star Trek, how passionate he was about comics, how I think of him. I think of him when I think about Jack Kirby, such like that. The old guard. That I never forget this line. I never forget this quote, that Jack Kirby was in his early 40s when he wrote the Fantastic Four. And I took that and remembered that was like, you are never too old. You are never too old to do anything. You are never too old to do anything in this life. You are never too old to, to succeed in this life. And that, there is such a thing as late bloomers. That you more than likely are just a late bloomer. You don't hit your stride until you're older. You're much older in your life. That's when you finally hit your stride. That's when you finally find that success. Klavi, he found that success by just being himself. He impacted so many by just being himself. And it wouldn't matter if he was even my age. That's still he impacted so many by just being himself. And he found so much more. He found so much more than just a YouTube audience. He found a family. He built a family. He extended his family. And he paved the way in a way. He paved the way for a lot of us in this space. That's why I refer to him as the old guard. As that old guard that he didn't you didn't. The thing about Klabi is that he didn't need to command respect. He didn't ask to command respect. When you see him on any stream, when you're in his show, the respect was there from the very beginning. Because he was genuine. You know? He impacted so many by just being himself. And, listening to Loki and Eris earlier right now, just, it's that same thing. It's that same thing. Just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes I really do. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm not looking at anything, actually. I'm just looking at my backgrounds, just because I want to, try to look at the camera and try not to be too distracted. So I have no idea if you guys sing a raid, that's fine. But I'm just gonna try to keep it quick. Try to keep this short because I don't want to mess up the time on I want to put up everybody's time, but it's got me so much to think about. This whole thing with Klabi is just like, it's got me so much to think about. What I was dealing with last year when I lost both my grandparents in 2 months' time, in a 2 month span. In some ways, Klabi was a lot like my Klabi was a lot like Grandpa Makini to me. I don't mean that in the literal sense. I mean that, but he had that gentle, passionate soul, that kind of person he was, and that was what my grandpa was like. That was what my grandmother was like too. I got the chance to, I got the privilege to be able to speak on both of their speak at both of their funerals, and now, and I feel like I wanted to speak my piece here, the same way. And I didn't know Klabi as well as you guys in the chat have, as well as everybody else has. But for the time I did, I felt like I was impacted. I felt like I was impacted. I'll look at the chat real quick. I see the raid and see all that. I'll see everybody here. Sorry about that. He thought, he thought the world of so many people. And that was the genuineness that came from him, is that he thought Klabi, I see Klabi as a titan because he saw all of us. It's like It's like we looked up to him because he looked up to all of us. He thought the world of all of us. He thought every single person was a titan to him. Every single person was a legend to him. I don't know, man. I just, I had to look up. It's like, what do you do? Do you take that grief as motivation? And I feel like I need to. I feel like I want to, though. I didn't know him as well as you guys did. That's the thing. And yet he's inspired so many. Yet he's impacted so many. He made you feel like family. Yeah, exactly. And something that Loki and Eris brought up was just that feeling of genuineness from people. That, Klobbie didn't have to put on a mask. Klobbie didn't care about the algorithm, the number of subscribers he had, all that bullshit. He didn't care about any of that at all. He just wanted to just have fun and speak to family. He just wanted to talk. He just wanted to go and just talk, ramble on and on and on, and just speak passionately about what he loved the most. And that was comics, that was pop culture, and that was the people around him. He was so blessed to have two people at his side every single time he went live. Two people like Raquel and like Mark D. It almost feels like some of that rubbed off on mine. So I feel like some of that rubbed off on me with Machiny Live, because this show I wouldn't be doing this every Sunday if I didn't have two people like Mama Bear and Bruce going live with me. And I felt like it was that same thing, It's not, Klobbie wouldn't be able to do so much he could if it wasn't for the people around him. If it wasn't for people like Mark D and Raquel, being right there live and basically allowing his passion, his genuineness to just shine on screen, to shine through the audio, the speakers and everything. And it's gonna feel so weird without him. It's just gonna feel weird, It's just not gonna feel the same. It's like, I can feel like it's funny. I can listen to him right now. I can listen to him right now and tell me, don't be like this, Machiny. You're an amazingly talented artist and such like that. And don't zero up, man. You gotta be strong. You gotta be you gotta be you. You gotta be genuine. The thing is, I don't know how to be genuine. I just do it. I don't know how. I'm sure Klobbie will be able to tell you. Klobbie could be able to tell you how he becomes genuine. How easy it is to be genuine. And it's like, I don't have that, like he has. Like any of the other people have too. For those who, like I said, for those who are popping in, I said earlier that I couldn't listen to the entire memorial service because I was afraid at some point I was going to start tearing up at work, and I think it was just going to be a little hard for me to kind of compile all of this. Just like I said, listening to, more importantly, listening to Mike and listening to Tom just I think those guys he's affected the most. Listen to Raquel and Mark trying to hold back tears. it was probably hard for me to listen to. I dropped like two super chats, two big ones, just to just offer my thoughts, condolences and such. And after listening to everybody speak, and after listening to Loki, and after just listening to Loki and Eris, speak further, I wanted to just go up and just at least provide my thoughts, because it feels like everyone said their piece about how great of a man he is, and I didn't get a chance to say my own and such like that, and I wanted to say something at least. Loki, he was there. He got the chance. He did exactly what my dad did when he got the call that Grandma Makani was not feeling well. She was about to go, and we told him, you need to take the next flight. I don't care. We're going to book you next flight. You need to go home and see her before she's gone. You have to. She needs to see all her children there. Sorry. She needs to see all her children there before her time went. And he did just that. He was there with her for days. He was there with her every single day up until her final moment. He was there. Which, he flew home, got a chance to see her, and she was gone that same day. That same night. That following night, she was gone. Loki, hearing that Loki did that, Loki texted me. He went all the way over to see him. He and Eris went all the way to see him, see his family. Because he needed to be there for him. Because maybe he knew. Because he needed because Klabi needed that strength. He needed that strength. He needed so many people that were physically there to pull for him. And he needed to make sure that if he didn't make it, that at least his final moment would be with everyone around him. With his friends, with his family, with his extended family here on YouTube. He wanted to make sure that when he was called home, that he could at least say goodbye to the people he cherished the most. It's hard. It's tough. I can't imagine what Loki and Eris are going through right now, because we talk back. I got a chance. I talked to him last night. He's got my phone number. I messaged him last night and such. He was there, and he thanked me for being there in the chat. And me and Loki, we talk back and forth on a lot of stuff, and personal stuff and such like that. And you gotta be strong for the people around you. You gotta be genuine. It's just, the thing is, I don't know how to be. I've been so caught up in this YouTube space. I've been so caught up, not just in this YouTube space, but this is social media space, because I'm trying to be somebody. Because I'm trying to live up to the people I look up to. Because I want to be as successful as the people I look up to. So I'm freaking in the trenches, just working behind the scenes, just backdoor and such like that, because I'm trying to, because I want that same success, because I want to make that same impact that a lot of these guys do, that like Tom, that like Loki, that like Mike, like Jay, Drunk 3PO, like so many of these people, like Klabi. to be honest, to be honest, hearing Loki say that, it just made me feel like I'm not as genuine as someone like Klabi is, though. I don't feel like I am, honestly. Because I'm trying to chase success, because I'm trying to chase making an impact, because I'm trying to chase being somebody. When I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to, because I realized I couldn't, because I can't accept, because I can't accept a reality that I'll never be able to live up to the people who inspired me. I can't accept that reality. I just can't. I can't accept that. I refuse to. Klabi, that didn't matter to Klabi, though. That's the thing. That didn't matter to him. You know, that didn't matter to... This shit didn't matter to him. You know? And he became so important, so impactful in his time in this world because of that. Because he just he wore his heart on his sleeve every single day. Every single day. He didn't need to try to, you know, work all this back room to do a, you know, to put a show together to show that, you know, he's got to do this, he's got to do that, he's got to, you know, all these bells and whistles. He just turned the stream on, and he just turned the stream on. He just grabbed his mic and just went on. He just took off. He said whatever was his mind. He wanted to say hi to chat, and it was like a family gathering in a way sometimes with the stream. So he just wanted to just go and hang out with people. He was so true in his way, man. He was so true to himself and true to the people around him. And I feel like I'm not, honestly. I feel like I'm trying to all this stuff I try to do is me trying to deny this reality that I ain't gonna live up to shit. Me not accepting this reality that I ain't gonna amount to shit in my life. But I know what you guys saying. Klabi would come down from the heavens. He would beat my ass just for saying that. He would beat my ass just for saying that. He would clobber my ass just for saying that, though. Loki would too. Everybody would. It's gonna feel weird without him. That's the problem, man. That's the thing. It's almost like he never left, but at the same time, it feels like he never left, though. It feels like he's lived on through his family. He's lived on through us. I can still listen. I'm still listening to him talking and laughing and chatting and stuff like that, you know? just want to get my thoughts out. Just want to get my thoughts out that for somebody who didn't know him as well as everybody else did, he impacted me as well. He impacted me personally. His passing impacted me personally too. Wanting to do better for myself, you know, like everybody else has. So, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and sign off this. And this is just I wanted to say my piece because because everybody did, and it just didn't feel right if I didn't at least say how I felt about him, about Mike, about Clobber Tom. So, guys, the GoFundMe is in the chat. I know everybody's putting the GoFundMe in there. Make sure you share it. If anything, just share. I know Clobby's family would truly appreciate that. I know Clobby himself, who is in that comic shop with Jack Kirby, George Perez, and Stan Lee, he would appreciate that too. You know? So please do so. Just share the page. You know, they would really appreciate that. Just get the word out. You know? And continue living your life as genuine as he lived his. Continue being the genuine person to the people you love around you as he did his. Continue to speak with your heart the same way he did. Continue being the gentle soul as he did. If you learn something from Clobby, it's this. Exactly, Power, exactly. You could not amount to anything in your life. And yet, big or small, you have that power to affect so many people in your life. People bigger than you, people smaller than you. People are never forgotten when it's their time. When it's their time, people are never forgotten. I will always believe that. You will never be forgotten because of the people you impacted. Because they will because the people you impacted, the people you've affected in your life will carry on your memories to their generations, to their people they affect in their life. They will carry on your legacy. They will carry on your legend. They'll carry on your memories. They will carry on you. You will live on through the people you've impacted. And for Clobby, it's like he never left. That's what it's like. It's like he never left. It's like he never left that channel. It's like he never left through all of us. Through Loki, through Tom, through Mike, through Raquel, through Mark. You know, he lives on. He'll forever live on. And the same is for Admiral Doom. The same is for Mark C. The same is for JJ, Sith Lord. You know? All the people, we lost some good people in this, we lost some good people in this in this space, in this YouTube space. We lost some good people over the years. And you never know how empty it can feel after they're gone. You know, you never know how everything feels different after they're gone. that's what, that's what Benny did. That's what Benny Condestorian did. But that's more importantly, that's what Klobby did. So, listen. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for let me at least get the time to say my piece and say my goodbyes to a great man, to a great person. And please go look, check out, support the GoFundMe, and share it out. They really appreciate it. And I'll end with this. Klobby, it was a blessing to get to know you. It was an absolute pleasure. And I thank you for all that you've done. I thank you for how many people you've impacted, myself included. The world needs more people like you, Klobby. The world would cherish for more people like you, Klobby. And it's gonna feel so weird without you, man. It's not gonna feel the same without you. So, Klobby, thank you, man. To quote E from Starblade, Mike, clobbering time, may your memories live on forever. I love you, man. We'll see you again soon.